I am elated to have been asked to do tribute this morning, honoring two of my heroes. I know this morning our hearts are heavy. As ever, as we remember the extraordinary lives of two legends of the Federation of Southern Cooperatives. And when I say that, their life was extraordinary. We have dedicated this entire annual meeting to both Mr. Keown and Mr. Cline. You know, we will forever hold their names up and hold them in our hearts and memories. They have a very special place in my heart and with my family. They have been an integral part of me becoming who I am today and becoming the leadership. In fact, they, along with other board members, are the heart of this organization. You know, without that type of governance, it would be impossible for us to have lasted for 45 years. You can't do that without governance, and that's important. And governance take a strong leader. A strong leader should be elected by the membership, which is Mr. Keown and Mr. Cline, the chairman and the vice chair. So often I had to talk to them about issues, about problems, about everything else that concerned it, almost everything that concerned our life in this country, whether it was agriculture, food, whether it was housing, whether it was credit unions, whether it was anything else. We had to deal with land retention. All of that has been an integral part of their involvement, and they extended, and both of them did it so quietly, did it, you know, somewhat under the radar, somewhat where they were going ahead making decisions. There was nothing to ask them, meet me in Washington tomorrow, meet me such and such about, go represent the Federation here, and that kind of thing. I remember so much I could talk a long time up here this morning about both of them. But I want to point you to a couple of things first. You can read it later at your time. You saw the video. How many of you got a chance to see the video Wednesday night? Thursday. Well, we have some young folk on staff to do that. And they did a wonderful job, I think, with that. And of course, the annual meeting, annual report is dedicated to them. You have on both pages, and I don't know if that's a centerfold or not. If it is, I know these men never thought they'd make a centerfold. But anyway, it's here, and make sure you take enough back for your family to distribute it. Now I know also this morning the Keown family could not stay because of other commitments. They were here from Texas and Oklahoma, all over the place Wednesday night, and they wanted to stay until Thursday night until the day. So we, you know, y'all keep them in your prayers close to your heart. Let me ask to stand and give this family. Your mic's not on, Rap. Can you hear me now? Yeah. What about I holler at you? Keep this family that I'm going to ask to stand in your hearts as we go forth. They are part of this federation. Can you hear me now? Mrs. Cline and the Cline family, would you just stand, please? and know that we are forever grateful to you all for sharing Mr. Cline with us for so many years. We're forever grateful for you, and we'll keep it. One other announcement I want to make: this building here, we're trying to remodel the whole center little by little. But this center here will be named the Keown Cline, or the Keown building. We having a marble stone made to indicate it, and we're gonna have actual land. We were hoping to do that today, but things happened in a way we had ordered it. Then we never know, we had to reorder. You never know. You know, it ain't in our hands. So we got to get it done and put in here and name this building there. And we're going to remodel it, put in new windows, tile floors, redo the kitchen and some other things. Hopefully we'll have that completed by next year, you know, and then we're going to do some other things there. You know, as I sit here and remember both Mr. Cline and Mr. Keown, I remember the last days of Mr. Keown's life, you know, from December, when he was invited to be with Barack Obama at a rural council meeting out in Minnesota. It took us the longest time to convince him that his health was failing, that he couldn't go. So we finally did, and I don't know. Then again, we had our meeting back in December. He wanted to be there, he was there. Then he wanted to be at the Epes meeting, coming right down, just talking to him every day. And he said, be strong, keep going, and that kind of thing. And I just can't remember the encouragement he was giving me, and I should have been giving him encouragement to show that strength, you know. And for Mr. Cline, I don't know if I've ever called him a time and asked him, how you doing? Mr. Cline, how you doing? Or he asked me how I'm doing. And I said, how you doing? He said, I ain't gonna lie, the Lord is with me. He never failed to say that. Never failed to remind